guys know what time it is. It's Stanley Cup Finals time, baby. No one on this panel has a team left in the playoffs, and that means Gage and I don't have to buy a Stars jersey. That is news to celebrate. We're going to be breaking down the finals all right here next on The Crease. Welcome into The Crease, and before we get into all that great Stanley Cup playoff action and the Stanley Cup Finals, breaking down that series, I want to give a big shout out to one of our sponsors, and that is Vivid Seats. If you are a hockey fan and you live in either Edmonton or in Florida and you want to go see a Stanley Cup game, you may even see Gage there. He's trying to go to one as well. Use Vivid Seats. You can go live vividly in person and watch all that great Stanley Cup playoff action. But guess what? They don't just have hockey tickets. They got every other sports, music, any kind of shows you want to go see, all those tickets and more. Use the link in the description of this video to go live vividly. Now, boys, we were sitting here, and I made some claims. I said, I thought the Rangers were going to be the team. They were going to be the ones to do it. They were going to be the ones to show that there is no curse, that it's all in our heads, and we can go to sleep soundly at night knowing that it's all in our heads. And then the Florida Panthers showed up and do what they do best when it comes to President's Trophy winning teams the last 2 years, and they send them the fuck home, or Cancun, or wherever the hell you go when you play hockey and you're not in the playoffs anymore. And then we said Edmonton can't outscore their problems, and then they fucking did.
They didn't seem to have too many problems to me.
And then they did, and Ian is now in the same miserable muck that the rest of us are.
Suck it, my team went further.
Was so close.
But in the end,
they call the team.
You went further if you don't win it.
Yeah, it's like, you know,
nothing. Great season. Great season and absolutely nothing to show for it. It sucks.
You're in Cancun with the rest of them. The only cup you're drinking out of is red and solos on the bottom, all right?
I'm just hoping the same thing happens to Connor McDavid and Leon Draisaitl.
Well, I mean, to be fair,
that happening.
There's a pretty solid chance of that happening. I think Florida is on an absolute revenge tour right now, boys. I don't see any way.
I hope they are too. I don't ever want to see Connor McDavid and Leon Draisaitl win a cup. You beat my team, and if it comes at the expense of my team, you should never win it. That's my biased fan's opinion.
Hateful, vindictive.
I am extremely hateful. Edmonton, you've passed Vancouver. Edmonton, you have passed Vancouver. Remember when I was hating on Vancouver earlier this season? No, Vancouver's fine. You've done nothing to me. Edmonton's
pettier and saltier than the Devils and Bruins fan.
I have no idea.
Because we were expected to do something this year.
I mean,
Bruins were not expected to do that this year. I'm sorry. The Bruins were expected to maybe be a second-round team, and the Devils, sure, they were expected to have a jump, but you're using Lindy Ruff as your head coach. I'm sorry. Both of y'all's teams were worse than mine, and mine was expected to do something. And we didn't, so...
Yeah, you beat me too. I was about half a second away. I was like, oh, yeah.
And we didn't, so it doesn't matter. Congratulations. Congratulations. We all suck.
I have never seen a Dallas Stars fan have, like, that's a New York fandom level reaction right there. Like, fuck you.
It shows I care.
That's a New York, like I don't know if you've watched New York fandom, Ian, if you've seen, like, the reaction videos.
I have.
And post losses, like when they're before the game starts, they're all hyped up, and post loss they're like ripping down posters and stomping on jerseys and shit, losing their mind in the streets. You are the Dallas version of that right now, and I
haven't torn up this office yet.
I'm here for it,
and I'm not going to, but
I'm just saying, gotta take a page out of Knicks fans' books, because we were talking all that good shit on the Pacers after they got swept.
Hey, don't worry, they got straight.
I will say, y'all would have at least won a game.
Yeah, we would probably won that game one that the Pacers.
Y'all might have won 2 games.
Yeah,
I don't know.
The Pacers should have won 3. All right, let's be fair.
Playing, and yeah, we have a chance at 2, maybe 3.
You guys know who did win 2 games though? The Dallas Stars before they got knocked out of the playoffs.
Look, as a longtime fan of the Oklahoma Sooners, the Oklahoma City Thunder, and the Texas Rangers, as well as the Dallas Stars, I should be used to disappointment. It just shows I love my teams. I'm sorry.
Yeah, and you're a glutton for punishment, just like the fucking rest of us.
At least none of us are Columbus Blue Jackets fans.
He was talking shit that last episode.
I was. Hey, I believed.
All that good shit.
I believed.
He was like, you guys need to start picking out your jersey. You're going to be buying one. Wham!
I believed.
Oh, man. And the worst thing you can do
is have hope.
Is have hope and believe.
Actually, no. The worst thing you can do is get attached. The second worst thing you can do is believe.
Well, the problem is we're sports fans. We're already attached.
American sports fans at that.
Yeah.
I don't know, Europeans and...
Well, European, like, Premier League fans and Bundesliga fans for sure.
Yeah, for sure. But welcome to the Cancun show, baby, because all of our teams are...
I wish I was recording in Cancun right now, because then I'd be miserable in paradise.
Bro, yeah, and you'd probably be surrounded by hockey players. You could have some cameos on there.
Man, how come y'all lost?
Why? Who's down there?
He's like... Joe, how come you only scored 1 goal this playoffs? Because I'm 40?
Bro, you asked him that, and he probably whooped your ass on live TV. You wouldn't even put down his drink. The
only thing I have on Joe Pavelski's height. Nothing else.
Yeah. Oh, man.
That sucks, though. On a real note, that sucks for guys like Joe Pavelski, who's probably going to retire this offseason, and he's never going to win a cup. That just...
Well, yeah.
As a hockey fan, you have to be gutted for that guy. I know Sharks fans are.
Gage, you think we've ragged on Ian enough yet?
No, he was talking way too much shit last week.
Oh, man.
Well, I'm looking crazy for calling Edmonton, Florida in the finals. But look where we are. I'm looking at Edmonton, Florida, Stanley Cup tickets.
Gage, I hope Jack Hughes leaves.
I'm not even lying to you right now. I did not think this would happen. Like, I was looking at both their roads. I was like, Florida, Eastern Conference Finals for sure. Stanley Cup's going to be rough. Edmonton, I was like, maybe they can flirt with the Western Conference Finals, but I don't see them getting past that at all. And especially with the way Dallas was playing. And then Dallas does what Dallas sports teams do, and they
lose on a 10-shot game.
Choke.
Lose on a 10-shot game.
Welcome
we
to
outshot them 10.
All I'm hearing is Stuart Skinner must have had a master class.
I hope Matthew Tkachuk runs Stuart Skinner. Actually, I hope Sam Bennett. I don't care if Sam Bennett or Matthew Tkachuk does it. 2 former Flames playing Edmonton. I hope they go off. I hope they both have 20 points apiece this series.
Damn. I may be buying myself a Stuart Skinner jersey, boys, if Edmonton pulls this off. I may be hanging one. And
I will fly to Alabama, and I will beat the crap out of you, and then cry afterward.
All the people I could get a jersey for, I may get a Stuart Skinner jersey after this. The amount of slander that man got in that series against Vancouver and all that shit, and everyone was like blaming him.
That was not Skinner's fault.
Stuart Skinner deserves so much love. If Edmonton wins a Stanley, he won't get it, but Stuart Skinner deserves the love. Because that man has played out of his mind all year behind a just atrocious defense. And we know it. We've watched Edmonton time and time again turn the puck over in their defensive zone and just hang Stuart Skinner out to dry. And all we hear from mainstream media is, Stuart Skinner's a subpar goalie, and how can you expect him?
Last time Edmonton got to the Cup final, their goalie got hurt in the first game. So let's hope. For Edmonton fans, you better hope.
You're just being vindictive now. You're trying to.
I am being extremely vindictive. I'm being petty.
On everybody.
I'm being petty. I'm being vindictive. I'm being bitter, and I have every right to be those things.
Hey! I just want you to know that my team got knocked out of the playoffs 2 years in a row by the same team. And can we acknowledge that for the last 6 years, the state of Florida has single-handedly ran the Eastern Conference.
Facts.
Has single-handedly ran the Eastern Conference.
Hey, they've run the Eastern Conference since the start of the decade.
Pretty much. It's been legitimately either
COVID happened, and so did the state of Florida.
Or it's been the Lightning or the Panthers every single year for the last 5 or 6 years. Florida is running the Eastern Conference right now, and we're all just passengers on this train.
I wish I could.
If they win, I will be at that parade. You will see videos.
Bro, you better get video.
Oh, I know.
You don't live in Florida and be on a hockey podcast and not
go to the parade.
Live video of the Florida Panthers Stanley Cup Championship parade. That does not happen. I will make you be there. I'll find a way. Don't you get me wrong. I have vacation days and money. I will find a way.
I don't know.
Joe, you just coming with me.
Last year, a drunk William Carlson. William Carlson was pure entertainment. What does a drunk Matthew Tkachuk on a float doing a speech look like?
Exactly what we want to in America. The headline will be "Florida Man falls off float," and I'm here for it.
Okay,
with Stanley Cup.
With Stanley Cup.
If there was a bet for is Edmonton gonna burn if the Oilers lose the Stanley Cup final, are you taking that bet?
It's not Vancouver.
Or is Edmonton? Well, Montreal burned their city down after one win.
Can you believe
in 2021?
Like Canada's got this whole perspective, like they're just a really nice, go-lucky place, But the problem is that they're single-handedly a vicious, vicious country. Like they overreact to a lot. But
indeed, and I'm a college football fan.
I'm waiting on Gage to tell me when we have crushed Ian's soul enough on this.
I can't roast Gage. I can't roast Gage because all his teams suck. So
and he's used to it.
I'm in Yankee season now. Like
it's full on Yankee season, bro.
Oh, you're a Yankees fan?
Oh yeah. I got one good team.
So how long until they lose to the Astros in the ALCS?
The Astros are booty juice right now.
The Astros do suck.
The Astros are booty juice right now.
I just hope they'll lose to the Royals.
Hangs out at the bottom of hot dog water, that weird gunky stuff.
I hope they lose to the Royals in the ALCS if the Rangers don't get there.
Man, Ian is lashing out, man.
I'm angry. And if I get after college football season, if OU doesn't do anything, you'll see the same thing in December or January.
Jesus. You know what's funny? Like I accept it. I see when it's going to happen. And I don't really care that much. Like I care, but it's like I saw it coming. I'm already broke myself down here. I didn't put the belief and the hope out there. Ian, you messed up. You were down 3-2.
I got attached and I believed. I believed that a team coached by Peter DeBoer could do anything in the playoffs.
You were down 3-2 and you said, "Oh, we got a chance. I'm fully invested." You let your emotions.
No, I said that after we were up 2-1.
You're like, "This is it. We're going to Game 7." And then literal toe drag magic from Connor Magic McDavid.
You just say, once again, 10 shots. 10 shots over 3 periods.
No 5-on-5 goals either. We didn't allow a 5-on-5 goal that game.
Damn, it sounds like when the power play came on, you guys turned into the Toronto Maple Leafs.
Yep.
And now we've checked the box for the Maple Leaf slander.
Leafs would have killed... I'll do you one better. Leafs would have killed both of those penalties.
Oh my God.
We couldn't kill anything in the second half of that season.
We've got him through the stage.
Don't act like the Devils would have killed that.
Acceptance now, Gage. We've helped him in 14 minutes. We have got Ian through all this.
Basically, welcome to the 5 stages of grief featuring Ian, the speed run.
Under 15 minutes, we got him straight to acceptance.
The speed run.
It's time to move on to next season, man.
I hope this is one of our most watched videos because bitterness attracts viewers.
The title of this video is going to be Breaking Down the Stanley Cup with a Bitter Dallas Stars Fan.
Or just bitterness featuring Ian.
So, since we've now accepted the fact that we are ready to break down the Stanley Cup 15 minutes into this video, we're going to start out west with your Western Conference champions, the Edmonton Oilers, baby, who went absolutely bonkers in Game 6, only had 10 shots on goal all game, scored 3 goals, none against 5-on-5 even power to win the Western Conference Finals against the Dallas Stars and go to the Stanley Cup Finals. Masterclass by Stuart Skinner and absolute showmanship from Connor McDavid wins it for the Oilers. And they will see the Florida Panthers. But first, let's talk about the Edmonton Oilers here, all right? We have, since early on, believed in the no-block effect, the new kid on the no-block. He turned this team around. His history with Connor McDavid was not understated and was one of the main reasons he was hired. And honestly, no block to me should at least be a candidate, if not a shoo-in, if the Coach of the Year award was presented after the playoffs, to win Coach of the Year. And I don't know if Coach of the Year has ever been given to a coach who did not coach the full season. And I would bet to say that it may never have been. But if there was one guy who should fucking get it, it's no block, because this team was dead in the water a month into the season. We thought the Sharks were going to be bad. This team was competing with the Sharks on who could be worse. And yet, they are now representing the Western Conference in the Stanley Cup Finals. So I want to start with Gage on this one, because Ian's down there simmering on his take for the Edmonton Oilers. We've already heard it. But Gage, how did Edmonton get here, man? Like, this is a hell of a Cinderella run.
Just want to again say the fact that I called it over a month ago.
You did.
And I said it last time, but I'm ready to get hurt, because I do this every year in the West. The Oilers can do it. The Oilers can outscore their problems. And they did. Turns out you just need to score twice on 10 shots to beat Jake Ottinger and the Stars on 35 again.
Why shoot many when few do trick?
And now we have the check in the box for the office quote. Done.
I'm sure we'll get a Letterkenny one in there too. It's like you guys have the native flu. Check that. And no, this is. I want to hype up the Oilers. I really want to believe it, but they're not a physical team.
Oh, they are, but not as physical as the Oilers.
I don't think they're a physical team. Like, for playoff hockey standards, I just don't.
Maybe not. They're certainly not Vegas last year.
They have more talent, I think, than Florida. I think cheerleaders have more talent on the ice. I think it's going to be playoff Bob locked in for 5 to 6 games. And it's going to be Matthew Tkachuk and Sam Bennett and Sam Reinhart just going to work.
Please.
I want to hype
Canada doesn't deserve a cup.
The defense on Florida is on par with the Stars, I think, but I think they're more physical. I don't think Edmonton handles that well. And Florida doesn't shoot like so many shots, but they shoot very good opportunity shots. And they play gritty down below. And it doesn't mesh well with the lack of defense on Edmonton, who can't play down low, can't play behind the net. And that's where Florida excels, playing the puck behind the net, getting it down low, getting garbage rebounds to go. It's just a style of hockey. And that's what you need in the playoffs. You need to win in every facet. You can't just take clear shots. You got to win it down low.
I mean, they definitely are going to get out grit, right? Like the Panthers have grit to spare. They're a tough physical team. They win off of their grit and their tenacity and how tough they play.
Everyone thought the Rangers could match it, and they did for 2 games.
Yeah, and they just couldn't.
And let's all be fair here to the Rangers. They consistently took that game to extra to overtime. Like they got extra ice time in almost every single game. Florida's legs have got to be tied. I mean, you're thinking, they get a lot of time off, but I mean, you're still coming from a place of extra energy exerted throughout a 6-game series. And now you have to go play again against a team that is fast, moves the puck very well in the offensive zone, and is getting decent goalie play right now from Stuart Skinner, who, once again, if they win, I am getting a Stuart Skinner jersey. But Ian, I mean, obviously, you didn't think the Oilers would be here.
I was wrong.
You were. And the crazy thing is, if you would have thought, you looking at that series, and can you look at it and go, man, if you told me that the Dallas Stars held the Oilers to 10 shots, and they had 35, with Jake Ottinger in net, they win that game. On paper, they win that game.
On paper, games aren't won on paper.
They're not.
Series
but if you were to look at that
paper.
stat line without looking at the score, you're like, damn, how bad did the Oilers get their ass beat? And then you go, oh yeah, Stuart Skinner is a fucking beast.
Except I watched the same series play out in 2021. It was called Vegas versus Montreal. That was that series to a T. I mean, if you want to know how to beat a Peter DeBoer hockey team, that's how you do it. But to the final, I really think it's going to come down to how much of a beating can the Oilers take. And like Gage said, they can't play below the goal line. And Dallas didn't take advantage of that, other than games 2 and 3 where they did. And then the Oilers made adjustments. They made personnel adjustments, and they got faster. And they just outskated the Stars. You're not going to be able to do that against Florida. You're not going to be able to outskate them through the neutral zone because there will always be Matthew Tkachuk, Sam Bennett, Oliver Ekman-Larsson, Brandon Montour, or somebody to hit you as hard as you can and that's going to try to put you through the ice. I think you have to reinsert Vinny Desharnais if you're Edmonton into this lineup so that you can be a little bit more physical below the goal line. I don't know if Philip Broberg can play in this series for them. He did great against Dallas, got himself a goal. Congrats to him, first Stanley Cup playoff goal. But the Stars, the misconception with the Stars is they were a physical team. They were not a physical team all season. They haven't been since the coaching change. And Florida's just a different beast. Florida's just a different beast when it comes to physicality and shutting you down in the neutral zone. Yeah, it's near impenetrable.
Yeah, we saw that in the Boston series. I mean, the Bruins had major issues moving the puck, through the neutral zone consistently. So that is 100% fact.
You might get a 6-goal game on them. I'm gonna say it. Edmonton's probably gonna score 5 or 6 on them one of these games. We saw Boston do it, and Edmonton's a much better team than Boston. So I think they're capable of it. They're also a much faster team than Boston, and they've got what Boston doesn't have, and that's 2 all-world centers. So I think Florida isn't unbeatable, but I think it's going to be very difficult, especially if Sam Bennett and Matthew Tkachuk do Sam Bennett and Matthew Tkachuk things and injure a star player. So I think it's going to come down to a couple variables with that. I'm going to pick Florida in 6 to win the series, with the caveat that if it goes to 7, Florida in 7, Edmonton in 6. That's my prediction. A home team is going to win the Stanley Cup this year.
Okay. Well, I agree with a lot of things you said, Ian. I think that Edmonton can win this series. I think that their margin for error is significantly smaller.
Especially since Florida's, like, Edmonton's an opportunistic team, and Florida's more opportunistic than them.
Yeah, I mean, Florida is opportunistic. Their blue line defense is insane. They don't allow a lot through the neutral zone. They turn a lot of attacks back into their own zone because of how good that line is and how their spacing is. They're disciplined in their spacing. They're disciplined against the boards. They get after the puck with, like their speed isn't exactly quite, doesn't look like it's there. It kind of sneaks up on you as how fast they can recover and get after the puck. They really, really do have this sort of team that seems to be able to play playoff style hockey. And, we say that like, what does that even mean? Well, that means that, they're specifically built for playoff hockey. They may have issues in the regular season with how, here and there, they may not wow you. They may not, lead the league in points or whatever, but they are built for this moment. The way the team is constructed is built for this moment. They get, decent, if not great goalie play almost every single night from Bob. They have their defense is outstanding, and they turn defense into offense so fast. They don't have the mental mistakes that you see that we saw from Boston in this playoffs, that we saw from Toronto in this playoffs. These guys are after the puck consistently. They make timely personnel changes. They're always shifting people on and off the ice at the proper times. They get back into position really, really fast in those switches, allowing them to play solid defense in the neutral zone again. And then they get that puck back into, their opponent's zone, and then they can take it from you and score at will sometimes. And I think that's going to be the biggest problem, is that we have seen Edmonton in the past have unforced errors in their own zone that have resulted in goals against. And I think that's what it's going to be. So we've already got Ian's pick. I'm going to go ahead here before we kick it over to Gage for his pick. I am going to take, unfortunately, as much as it hurts my Bruins fandom, Florida in 6. I think they're too physical. I almost wanted to say it in 5, but I think that Edmonton's going to get at least 2 games in this series. I'm going to give them the benefit of the doubt. 2 games in this series Edmonton's going to take. I just think that Florida is too physical for Edmonton to play their style of game, and it's going to run them off the ice. But Gage, Ian's says that the Edmonton's going to win in 6 or Florida in 7. I got Florida in 6. What do you got?
I was just trying to figure out which Bob jersey I want to get, either the classic old school blue or the red. That's where I'm at.
He's already picking his Stanley Cup jersey. He's like, yeah, I'm wearing that to the parade. It's on order already.
Yeah, exactly. I gotta get it ready for the parade.
I thought you said you're willing to get hurt again, Gage.
No, if you scroll back the receipts, I said Edmonton will make it to the Cup, but will then get rocked by the Panthers in 5.
I hope so.
And you sticking with your 5?
I'm sticking with 5.
Sticking with 5. I almost went 5 myself. I gave Oilers an extra game. Hell, Ian gave them 3 games. So I mean, which by the way, just a caveat, is more games than the Stars won in the Western Conference Final. That's the last jab at Stars fans, only because Ian's here. So with that,
yeah. And how many games have you played in the conference final in this decade?
Yeah, I don't think we've played a lot.
Yeah, Joe, how many games?
A lot of those games for my mind. It's championships or bust. I don't worry about the losing seasons, all right? I don't worry about those.
That's the march of winning teams, and you don't care unless you win it.
Yeah.
Which none of our teams do, so none of us can talk.
Hey, he's a Patriots fan and a Celtics fan. Yeah.
This is a hockey podcast. It doesn't matter. And Patriots fan, you guys just drafted 3rd. You guys drafted a bust at number 3.
Not wrong. He's not wrong.
I mean,
we don't know if he's a bust yet, but
hey, at least we all have one team that's decently good.
Hey, I'm just going to be honest with you.
The Rangers suck. What are you talking about?
I'm going to be honest with you guys, all right? When's the last time the Stars won a championship?
99.
When's the last time the Devils won a championship?
Same year I was born, 03.
Oh, what do you know? The Bruins won in 11, so fuck you, Ian.
Yeah,
right?
with the same coach we've got now. And a much better player than we have now in Ilya Kovalchuk.
Either way, they're all in Cancun now, baby.
All in Cancun.
Be sure to tune in the NHL Stanley Cup Finals starting June 8th at 7 p.m. Central Standard Time. That is a Saturday. I cannot wait. I am absolutely pumped for this series. I'm absolutely pumped for this. As always, use Vivid Seats to go see these games. You can get your tickets there, as well as for all of your other events that you want to go see. Vivid Seats, live vividly. The link will be in the description of this video. Be sure to like, follow, and subscribe on all of our social media platforms, and check out our website where all our blogs and affiliate links are located. Until next time, this has been the